Hey, Steve here. Welcome to Hardtail Life. In this video, we're going to dive into 3 myths and 3 benefits of riding a hardtail, according to me, of course. Let's go. Myth number 1, hardtails are not suitable for technical terrain. Well, as someone who rides on the North Shore, I like to say that yes, there's quite a bit of technical terrain there, and you can totally ride it on a hardtail. Now, for the trails that I am having trouble with, it is definitely not the bike, it's me. And I think that that's one of the overarching themes that I might touch on here, is that it's not often the bike that's letting you down, it's often the rider. I mean, yes, if you're riding the wrong bike for the trail, then it's not really the bike's fault either. That's not what it's made for. I've seen people ride Tayatans doing things that I can't even imagine, and I know that the difference is not the bike, it's the rider. So, myth number 1, hardtails can't ride technical or gnarly terrain. False. Myth number 2, hardtails are not comfortable. Well, it depends on how you define comfort. This is something that I haven't advertised much, but there was a couple of shoots where I was a model and I had to ride a full suspension bike. I was sized and I had the forks dialed in and the shocks dialed in for my weight and everything, but I just couldn't get comfortable on it. Now, I didn't say that the shocks weren't doing its job or anything, or it was squishy all right, but it wasn't comfortable because I wasn't used to having a bike that behaved that way. Are you catching the nuance here? So comfort is about what you're used to. Comfort is about what works for you. What works for you might not work for other people. And of course, if you're used to one thing, if you're used to a full suspension bike and you suddenly jump on a hardtail, yeah, it's not gonna feel super comfortable right away. So as someone who's been riding only hardtail for like 2 years, and I got put on a full squish bike for a day for a shoot, it didn't feel comfortable. So the myth that hardtails aren't comfortable, I disagree. I'm way more comfortable on hardtail than any full squish bike. Now, if you force me to ride a full suspension bike for a while, I'm pretty sure I can get used to that, and that will be my new comfort level. But in terms of hardtails not being comfortable, that's a myth. Myth number 3, hardtails are not good for going fast. I'm gonna say that this one depends on the rider. Here's a shout out to my friend Ken. He rode one of those local club races. He rode it on a hardtail, and he was like strong mid-pack amongst mostly full suspension bikes. So you can't say he's not fast, or you can't say hardtail's not fast. It's the rider, right? It's how well do you know the trail? How comfortable are you on your bike? How skillful are you? How brave are you? Because when you're racing, that brings on a whole different mentality too, right? When you're riding the trails for fun, it's not the same as when you're racing. Hardtails will go as fast as you got the courage to go. All right, let's talk about some benefits. Well, I think it all centers around the simplicity. Hardtails are more simple, and that lends itself to being easier to maintain, right? There's fewer linkages, and there's fewer places for dirt to kind of get trapped in. You can clean and maintain your bike a lot more easily. And that also means that there's fewer things to break. The simplicity also means that they're lighter. Why do you need a lighter bike if you're just going down hills and stuff? Well, yes, but sometimes you gotta push. Sometimes you gotta pick your bike up and put it on your bike rack and take it off your bike rack. Sometimes you gotta pick it up and climb over a log or something. So having a lighter bike or a heavy bike isn't a deal breaker, but it's nice, right? It's nice. The simplicity also means cost savings. Hardtails generally cost less than full suspension bikes. And when it costs less, either you save that money, or for the same amount of money, you can get way nicer parts. That's actually part of the reason why I started on a hardtail. I started on a hardtail because I didn't know if I was going to like mountain biking. An affordable hardtail is what got me started. And eventually I was able to upgrade the fork, right? I didn't pay a ton of money up front. I paid some of it and sold the fork that it came with, bought a more beefy fork, and then eventually upgraded to a nicer frame. It was much more attainable. I didn't have to go and spend $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 on a full suspension bike that I wasn't even sure if I was gonna like. And to be fair, no one who's starting out can fully utilize a $6,000 bike, I think, right? Am I wrong? Let me know. Let me know if when you started you're like, yes, this $6,000 bike is holding me back. Anyways, if you're relatively new to mountain biking, but you love it and you want to do it all the time, then you've come to the right place. I'm eager to ride all the trails and to learn all the things, so make sure you subscribe and follow along on my mountain biking adventures. Thanks for watching, and see you in the trails. All right, here we go. Okay, I can do this. I can do this.
You got it.
I got this. I
got
this.
it. You got it. Yeah!